And you mentioned Bill Watts. He had a legendary territory, Mid-South Wrestling, that you were a part of. What's your memories of working for him and working in that territory?
I'll tell you, when I went to Atlanta the first time, that's when the Road Warriors were there, and they were just starting to get over. And the first night I was there, I didn't know how to wrestle. I couldn't work a lick. I mean, I was terrible. But you know, I could get along. The first night I was there, I was partners with Stan Hansen, and we were at the Omni. And I was man-mountain Darsow, and I carried an axe with me. And we were wrestling the Road Warriors, and it's a sellout crowd in the Omni, and the people are nuts in Atlanta. And I remember Stan Hansen saying, you know, Barry, don't bring that axe around me, just put it in the corner and you follow my lead. Well, I didn't know what was going on. Stan Hansen went in there and threw that bell around. Road Warriors took off. That was the end of the match, and I thought, holy cow, I got a payday for this? And I'm thinking, this is the greatest territory. Well, Ole ended up sending me to Bill Watts to learn how to work. So when I went to Bill Watts, he took me in. I went down to the ring with George Weingroff and Art Cruz just about every day. They got me on the mats. They trained me different ways, and you know, really got me going. Then I wrestled Terry Taylor, the Junkyard Dog, Jim Duggan, Rock and Roll Express. You know, and it was just a great territory for learning. And you worked every night, double shot Saturdays, double shot Sundays, and if you didn't work right, Bill Watts would kick you in the ass, you know, and that's the kind of guy I was. I needed a guy like that to really teach. And Ernie Ladd was down there, Grizzly Smith. I mean, it was just the best territory to learn. When I left there, now I could say, hey, I was a pro wrestler. After 2 years in the business, wrestling everywhere with all these guys, I didn't learn until I went to Mid-South. Now I was comfortable going anywhere and wrestling anybody. So that's Bill Watts. That was his territory.
And you were a Russian there, teaming a lot with Nikolai Volkoff. What are your memories of him?
Well, when I was there, I was a babyface. I was Crusher Darsow, and I was terrible. Started kind of coming into my own, and Bill Watts said to me, he says, Barry, the only way you're going to really make it here is you got to become a heel. And he says, we're going to make you a Russian turncoat. And back at that time, everybody in America hated Russians. So he says, you're going to be partners with Nikolai Volkoff, going to take this shovel and you're going to bury all the Americans. And I just went, holy cow. You know, and a couple years in the business, I'm thinking, God, this is pretty serious stuff here, you know. And it ended up working. I ended up being a heel, and that's why I worked with Terry Taylor, who was phenomenal in the ring. He taught me so much. Then, you know, Jim Duggan, and, you know, it just ended up, that made my career being with Nikolai Volkoff, because I learned a lot with Nikolai. And from there on, that's when my whole career started going uphill.